to. Aloha, shifters and light guardians. Thank you so much for tuning in for our Paradigm Shift Central Conscious Creator Meet and Greet for October 14th. My name is Brendon, Mystic Spider-Man, and super excited to be able to have those of you tuning in the future, whether you are already our members in the community or perhaps you're brand new to this. I'm joined by some fellow awesome conscious creators. I'll bring you guys up on screen, so feel free to wave to the camera for everybody on screen. We've got Candice, we've got Faery, we've got Darius, and we've also got Deon. So what this is, just a quick introduction for those of you who may be watching this in the future. Again, the Paradigm Shift Central community, this is a project that I've been doing for like a year, years and years and years, eons and eons and eons. And a big part of it is about being able to like bring together fellow conscious creators. And being a conscious creator myself, I know the journey is one that is incredibly inspiring and oftentimes arduous. And so being able to have a network of other people who can relate to that journey, where we can exchange ideas and support each other and get to know each other, is something that I've always seen as being very important within the collective community and very beneficial as well. So what to expect from this Conscious Creator Meet and Greet? Again, this is one of our private events that we do in the community for our Patreon members. So for those of you who are watching this in the future, be sure to check out the Patreon. That's our monthly membership subscription option. And when you'd sign up there at the $11 a month, you can get involved as a leading member, which will give you access to our private membership events, which include events such as this, plus lots more as well. So within this, we'll have our members on air with me. And this is really just pretty casual. This is just practice. And what this is going to be, it's going to be a way for us to be able to practice getting to know each other, first and foremost, team building, and also being able to share a little bit about who we are, introducing who we are as conscious creators as well. Talk a little bit about like, where are you as a conscious creator? And so even for those of you watching this, this may be something where it'll inspire you to just kind of be able to think like, oh, like I've been thinking about creating conscious content, or I've always wanted to have a YouTube channel, or maybe I want to be able to like help people with XYZ. And so again, this is creators who are actively helping assist with the shift in consciousness. And obviously that's a very broad topic there as well. So as we get going, I'm not expecting a super huge turnout in terms of this being a live broadcast. This is pretty casual. We got some new members here as well. Lizzy, thank you for joining in as well. And for those of you on the YouTube chat, feel free to leave your comments. If you guys drop some 1111s in the chat to confirm that you can hear me okay, that would be appreciated. And even if you want to join in partway through, you can check the Patreon link in the profile for this YouTube video and even literally jump in partway through. But we'll keep things pretty casual and we'll just keep going with the flow. So I'd love to be able to just kind of like practice being an example for introducing, like who I am as a conscious creator. And then I'll pass it over to Faery. We'll pass over to Faery next. And then we've got Deon here. And then we've also got Darius and Candice and Lizzy. So we'll just kind of go around and then it'll be pretty popcorn style from there. And yeah, so with that said, my name is Brendon, and just as a quick introduction of myself as a conscious creator. So I've been creating conscious content for quite a while, like since 2007, 2008 was when I kind of got like started more kind of within the genre of being a conscious creator. I went to school for media production. So like making videos was always something that I was into. I was making like YouTube videos, again, like even when I was in grade, I guess YouTube didn't fully even become a thing until I was like early college, give or take. So by about like 2006, I think I was like uploading videos. And even that was like, I also like even like uploaded like old videos from like my high school days and stuff like that. So making videos and putting them on YouTube is always something that I was quite passionate about. And over the years, I eventually kind of went through my own spiritual awakening. And then with that, that's when I started Paradigm Shift Central as Paradigm Shift as a club in my college, which eventually evolved into Paradigm Shift Central, which is now, again, this global community of conscious creators. And so over the years, I'll just share a quick story. I'm not going to get into too much detail. Over the years, my experience as a conscious creator, I've done like thousands of broadcasts, thousands of podcasts, thousands of like team events and everything like that. Started off doing like broadcasts before there was even video for broadcasts. So before Zoom was even a thing, even like Google Hangouts before that. And it was just like radio on the internet. This was back in like 2011 when it was just Blog Talk Radio. And over the years, eventually just kind of continuing to use the technology to evolve the way I was telling my story. And so as a creator, my why was wanting to be able to help people see more of the magic of this world, and knowing that everyone's kind of got their own spark within them, and then just kind of sharing my journey, sharing, this is where my YouTube channel, YouTube Skull Babylon, my moniker is Neo Gonzo Journalist of the Future. And what this means is basically, as a journalist, I'm documenting my own experience of the shift in consciousness, and I'm sharing it with other people. And within this naturally kind of evolved, where as I was making videos, each video I was making became practice for the next one. And this was very important. And I share this here again, to be able to help inspire the creators, even who may just be getting started today, is that like, you can't steer a parked car. Every video is going to help you get better at creating that next video. And that's what we're here to do, to hold space for you guys. So sharing my story, that happened in a variety of different styles on YouTube. And this is like before Instagram. Facebook was barely a thing. And eventually got more into like the complex style of editing. We were having meetings at our college for Paradigm Shift, and there were like meetings with guest speakers coming in and talking about astral projection and all sorts of like Reiki and past lives. And these were like people in my community. So I started using my skills as a videographer to like document those. And then I would interview people at the events and edit together these videos. So back then, like, it's kind of interesting how things have kind of changed. I haven't, just the way that media has changed. I like, all of my editing goes into my TikToks. I don't like edit videos quite how I used to, because I'm pretty busy with quite a few other things. And then over the years, I'll just kind of get this wrapped up. I also made full-length movies, full-length documentaries of transformational festivals I went to. Those are the 3 Days of Light movie and the Journey to Lucidity movies. Made a bunch of videos where I would be like interviewing people in my city at rallies, at events, at protests. And really just focusing on, again, sharing the story of like the collective shift in consciousness. And a lot of videos of me doing free hugs. Once I started doing free hugs and doing shiftivism and like sharing shift buttons and everything like that. And again, over the years, this has kind of evolved. And in the past while, again, it's kind of moved into TikTok. So a lot of the style I was cultivating just on YouTube began to crystallize through my practice on TikTok, where obviously the videos had to be shorter, but I really enjoy using humor, satire. I love being able to use the platforms as a way to be able to develop my creativity, like not just share my creativity, but develop my creativity as well. That was one thing that even when I started using TikTok, like I approached it like a game where I'm just like, oh, like let's just put something out there and see what happens, sort of thing. So I know that as a conscious creator, a lot of what we're doing is like we're putting out a signal, we're planting seeds. And then again, over the years, and I'll just wrap this up, a lot of it began to focus around like the building of community, the building of bringing together fellow creators. And now as a conscious creator, again, a lot of my responsibility and my chosen responsibility has moved towards kind of like the facilitation of digital space, supporting fellow creators, and still making videos and everything like that as well. So my services that I provide, and again, I'm mentioning this because you guys, I want you to mention your services as well. Obviously, I have my Patreon membership. I teach other members in the community how to build their own Patreons. One of my goals is, again, like building a Patreon. I started that in 2015. That's allowed me to be able to continue to do this as something that's like very much just like my full-time devotion. I still do have some part-time jobs that I do for like other videography clients on the go. And again, within this, one of my objectives is to be able to help fellow creators and being able to do what they love, like full-time, to be able to invest more of their time so that they can not only be reciprocated, but also to continue to be able to help support. So I have this vision that, the more of us as conscious creators who can do this, like from an entrepreneurial perspective, where there's this emergence of sacred commerce and still having integrity and authenticity and having fun and putting out our value and being, again, supported in doing that for me is something where I'm like, man, like how, like that's how we accelerate the shift in consciousness. More creators being supported and doing what they love and get support, and so they can keep doing it, thus creating more global impact as well. So that's been a lot of my focus, helping members create events, build their own content up, again, building their own patrons, building their communities, building their Discord servers, and lots of stuff. I still do want to get back to like even editing kind of how I used to. If I have the time, I'd love to be able to do that. I've made a lot of conscious movie reviews over the years, little things like that. But in the meantime, I'm super grateful to be where I am, to be able to help the people who I can help. And we got an awesome community as a result of it. So that's my experience as a conscious media creator. And we'll just kind of go around the circle, and all the links, you guys probably know them already: Mystic Spider-Man, Instagram and TikTok, Skull Babylon, and Paradigm Shift Central, which is again kind of our main hub that you guys can check out there as well. So I pride myself in having multiple abilities and many hats, but I'm super grateful to be able to be here amongst fellow awesome creators, and excited to learn more about what you guys do and to be able to give you this platform so that you can share with the people tuning into this what they can do. And for those of you on YouTube, we'll include all the links for the creators into the show notes. So be sure to connect and reach out. So is that cool? Does that make sense? Did that kind of like, did I do a good job there? This is just practice for me, guys. Like, again, like, But again, within this, we've part of the reason why I want to do this conscious creator meet and greet. We've had several new members join within the past month. I've been intentionally reaching out to people and putting out the signal and inviting people back into the space. So this is a chance for us to be able to get to know each other and again to be able to ripple this beyond this moment where it's like the collaboration and the synchronization and the synergy between what it is that we're creating within this space. That's what I'm really excited about. So last thing I'll say is I got some cool upgrades coming within the Paradigm Shift Central project, and I'll talk more about that a little bit later. So we'll pass it over to Faery. Did you want to go next? Is that cool? Yeah. Okay. All right. So we'll pass over to Faery. Again, Faery is one of our newer members, so excited to be able to introduce you to them. And Faery, when you're ready, please feel free to just say hello, and you can just kind of like tell us a bit about who you are and what you do as a conscious creator. And I'll leave the stage to you then. Okay.
Hello, everyone. So I'm Faery. My channel is The Fascinating Faery. I also have a second channel, Hypno Faery Quantum Energetics. Not really a lot of content on that channel yet. In the future, I'll get to that. But I started the first channel, which is The Fascinating Faery, about 3 years ago. And it was kind of interesting how I started it. I started it for my shop. So my shop is called The Fascinating Faery. And I was just making like magic wands and stuff like that, and just like fun little things. And so I would do like time-lapse videos of me making my wands, and that was how I started my channel. And so from the process of that, within a few months, I actually had a psychic awakening. So I started having visions in the shower, my clairvoyance activated. And so I started having contact with, energies beyond the veil and spiritual energies, and then eventually some ET contacts. So as I started connecting with and working with ETs more often, I started developing a mediumship technique that I use in a lot of my videos. So it's called light language. It's a form of healing, energetic healing, where I kind of bring through frequencies, tones, light sounds, light codes through the words and the ways that I speak, the gestures that I make with my hands. And what it does is it helps clear and remove stagnant energy from the body. It also helps activate dormant parts of the DNA. And so my channel went from being, a time lapse of me like making wands and pictures of the clouds, because I'm kind of obsessed with clouds, to me doing light language transmissions. So they started out very much where I was having to work really hard to get into the channeling state. And now that I've been doing it for about 3 years, it's pretty easy for me to go back and forth between channeling and speaking. So you'll see that a lot in more of my recent videos, where I'll talk to you directly and then I'll go straight into channeling, then I'll come out and talk and then go back into channeling. In my old videos, like the ones from 3 years ago, there's none of that. I wasn't able to really decode the information or tell you what was coming through like I can now. So this is part of what happens like when you go through developing your abilities, working with conscious creation, working with media. So you usually start at kind of a base level. For me, it was just, taking the parts of my transmissions that I felt were, right for people. I would like take out the first 20 minutes of me just like breathing really hard to get into that state. That's the other thing about channeling is in the beginning, it takes a lot of work to get into the theta brainwave state. But once you become very familiar with that state, you can go into it very quickly. And being a hypnotherapist, something I'll talk about a little bit more here in a minute, I've really developed a lot of techniques to assist myself into the theta brainwave state, as well as help other people get into that state. So that is the state you go into just below that kind of conscious waking state. So when you are just waking up in the morning or just going to sleep at night, that kind of in-between feeling that you get into, that is the theta brainwave state. So by becoming more and more comfortable with that state, you can kind of go in and out pretty easily. So that's one of the things that I've been able to develop through essentially working with all of you guys on my channel. So I do still do meditations and videos where I don't do them live, but most of my work is done through live stream. So I'm usually talking to you guys, connecting with you guys, channeling information directly and specific to the people that are there and people who are going to be watching the video. It's kind of interesting how it all started. So it started with me having visions in the shower and then kind of like developing that contact method, the mediumship method, and then wanting to understand more of my abilities. So I started learning how to do self-hypnosis, which is kind of what got me into hypnotherapy. I had done a past life regression course on Udemy to get myself started with my own past life regression. So I just wanted to learn I just wanted to learn about my own past lives, because I was like, I feel like I have some interesting past lives, and you know, I just want to learn more about it. And I'm kind of like a DIY person, so I want to do everything myself first before I go to somebody else. So I actually learned hypnosis through self-hypnosis first, started doing past life recall on myself and learning how to channel information, learning how to do energy healing. So that was what kind of came next. Was I connected with my mentor, who assists me into understanding how to use energy healing. So that was for quantum. It started out as quantum Reiki, and it was for anti-high quantum Reiki, and then it developed into quantum alchemy. So working with his alchemy course, and so he kind of took me under his wing and helped me develop my skills. And so I worked with him for a few months, and then kind of went on my own thing and started developing what I call light language alchemy. So it's essentially taking what I learned from quantum alchemy, what I learned from Reiki, and what I learned from channeling light language to develop my own technique of healing, energy healing, and working with healing people. So when I work with clients on healing, I use a combination of things. I will use light language activations to help move energy. I use alchemy, as well as I do channeling. So I have the ability to kind of go into people's bodies and see, feel, and understand what's going on within their different systems through different visuals that I get inside my mind. So I receive these in images, similar to like when you see things, and it's really hard to describe this, but sometimes like if you've ever seen like an ultrasound or a radar screen, so I'll see like different images within that space. And then I'll also get images similar to like when you reflect on a memory, and you can see the details, you remember the colors, you remember the smells, you remember the textures, similar to that. So I get information in multiple types of way when I do that kind of channeling. I've done a little bit of this live on my YouTube channel. So there is some of that. You'll see it more in the live stream videos versus the ones that are pre-recorded, the pre-recorded meditations. But that is probably one of my main services that I offer, is hypnotherapy, working with people. And I'm not your typical hypnotherapist either. So I've taken several different courses. I've done the Dolores Canon, like the QHHT, so that I could start understanding what the difference was between just regular past life regression and hypnosis and clinical hypnosis. So I took clinical hypnosis as well, just to understand like the difference. I wanted to know the difference of all the different types of hypnosis. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to take like 19 courses. And that's not even like an exaggeration. I've taken so many. So I've developed this way of kind of, I typically will work with you if it's your first time under hypnosis for about an hour. We do an hour to an hour and 15 minutes. If you've been doing it with me for a while, our sessions tend to go to 2.5, sometimes 3 hours. And that's when we do a lot of subconscious reprogramming. So I also learned how to do neurolinguistic programming, because I wanted to be able to integrate NLP work into the hypnosis. So I usually save that for towards the end of the course, but also what I learned about the neurolinguistic programming helped me create a stronger induction. So one of the things that's really misunderstood about hypnosis, I know I'm jumping around a little bit here, so I'm sorry, guys. One of the things that is the most misunderstood about hypnosis is there's a lot of people that think they cannot go into hypnosis because they don't understand what it actually is. If you've ever daydreamed before, if you've ever kind of just reflected on a memory and been able to remember what it smelled like, what it tasted like, what it felt like, what it looked like those kind of details, those are all forms of accessing that part of your mind, that part of your brain that you go into in hypnosis. So what I do is I help you do a lot of visualization. There's people who say, I cannot visualize. I'm like, well, have you ever had somebody tell you a story? And when you read that story, you hear somebody tell that story, you can picture inside your mind what's going on in the story, right? That's actually one of the oldest forms of hypnosis, is storytelling. So if you can read a story and you can picture inside your mind what's going on in that story, then you can definitely go into hypnosis. A lot of times when you go into hypnosis and you start seeing things or tuning into things within the subconscious, it's not going to be like in the movies. It's not at all. Is what it will come to you is similar to like when you use your imagination. When you use your imagination and you start forming inside your mind different pictures, different feelings, different textures, different smells, that's the same thing you use when you get into hypnosis. So one of the things that I do when I take you into hypnosis, I use the imagination a lot. And so once I get you into that state where I feel like you're really using your imagination, you're really comfortable where you're at, we start looking at things that are affecting you in your current reality. So this is where we get into like trauma healing and shadow healing. Typically, and I use a series of different questions in order to access this information. But that is usually what my main focus is when I take people under, is I look at what happened in a past life, or what happened in the past of this life that is still affecting you today, that is keeping you stuck in a loop, that is keeping you stuck in a state of trauma, that is keeping you reacting to a situation in a way that is not in your highest good. So we'll look at, and the way that you kind of walk people into this is you have to be very non-specific so that you can allow their own mind, their own subconscious to go wherever it needs to go. And then you just ask them questions. So that's a lot of it, is asking a lot of questions and just waiting for the answer, and then just kind of moving from each question to another question to start gaining information. So the subconscious is
Nadine,
very simple.
I'll just jump in for a second. So you're doing the hypnotherapy, and then you got a few other things that you offer as well. So can you are you okay with just kind of in 5 minutes kind of giving us the where is Faery at as a conscious creator right now? And because honestly, like listening to you, I'm like this sounds like this is like a workshop in itself. And
Sorry.
that's like no, that's not to be sorry about.
I start talking a lot.
It's totally cool. It's totally cool. Like, and that's what I mean. Like, there's so much that you do have to be able to share, where I'm just like, like even just chatting with you right now, like if you were to do like a workshop, like on kind of like the hypnotherapy, like would that be something you would feel confident in doing?
Oh,
like,
yeah, totally.
Yeah. So for everybody, I know that's why I'm like, I don't want to cut you off, because I'm like, I know this is stuff that a lot of people are interested in. So with kind of like what you were saying here, if you just want to, and I'm only saying that because apparently time exists. So if you can just kind of in 5 minutes, and then we'll pass it over to someone else, and then we'll come back, and then we'll just keep an eye on the time before it gets too late. But it's fascinating hearing from you. So no worries over there. And I apologize for having to cut you off regardless. Yeah. But so where are you at as a conscious creator? And that just means kind of, like your basic platforms, where your focus is, and what your services are. If you can just kind of give us a quick summary there, plus anything else that I impolitely cut you off at.
No, not a problem at all.
I'm just
I talk a lot. I'll get on camera and an hour will be passed before I even realize it. So that's just, I apologize.
A good gift. That's a good thing. Like, makes the lives go by really quick. So
yeah. So hypnosis is my main thing. That's probably why I talk about it so much. I do tarot reading as well. I can do Akashic reading. I kind of keep the Akashic reading limited because I prefer to take people into their own Akashic records through hypnosis. That's another thing that, so if you're interested in Akashic records and accessing your Akashic records, one of the things is I teach people how to get into their own Akashic records. I can read your records, but I prefer to teach you how to do it yourself. So that's usually what I try to convince people, like, if you feel comfortable with accessing them with me, we can do it together, and then teaching them kind of how I do it and how you can do it on your own, because everybody has the ability to access their own records. So Akashic reading, tarot reading, something I've been developing for about 3 years as well. I'm not your typical tarot reader either. I do a lot of channeling. I don't read the cards like a typical reader. I don't read it by the book. I kind of do everything through triggers, through the images, how I see the images, what messages I'm getting in my mind as I'm seeing the images, what position they are on the table, how they come out. Do they come out really fast? Do they kind of drop to the floor? Just all of that is symbolic to me. I do subliminal reprogramming, so I can make subliminals for people. You have something specifically that you want to work on. You want to quit smoking. You want to quit drinking. You want to get out of self-defeating behavior. Something that you can give me a specific thing to work towards. I can make subliminals for that. I also am a musician, so I do conscious music as well as just fun. So if anybody's interested in collaborating with me musically, I do light language music. I also have a SoundCloud and a BandLab, so you can find all of that on my YouTube channel as well. I always link that because I'm always looking for people to collaborate with. I do have a few videos available that have kind of shown the collaborations I've done with people in the past. And then I also make jewelry. So if you're interested, if you like bracelets, I make fairy crowns, I do necklaces, I do wire wrap pendants. Oh, I don't have my wire wrap on today. It's just my organite pendant. I do organites, I do all kinds of stuff. I do a lot of things, so I'm probably leaving some stuff out, but those are the ones that are coming to me right now. So I'm going to let you guys pass it over to the next person. Sorry for taking up so much
It's no
time.
problem. I mean, it again, you know, like the reason why I created this event, because being able to talk in person is like one of the quickest ways to kind of like be able to download information about who you are. Like I can check out your profiles and everything like that, but just being able to give us a chance to be able to, you know, not only get to know each other, but also practice sharing and practice like telling our story and everything. So it's interesting because one of the things that I'm working on, and this is what I was alluding to, where it's like, you know, there's a lot of things I'm always working on things behind the scenes within Paradigm Shift. Like I'm always evolving it. One of the things that I'm actually focusing on right now is creating a conscious creator member database. And so this is like a big database of conscious creators. I've actually created a database like similar to this multiple times over the years. And this is kind of like the newest iteration of it. And so it's going to be featuring members within our community, as well as just like a lot of different creators, ones that I've kind of like handpicked and come across, ones that when we send people to the database, I want to feel confident in being able to allow them to be able to see someone from that and like be like, whoa, their services are something I'm interested in, and then feel like confident in being able to know that they're going to be directed to them as well. So being able to hear from you, I was like taking notes where, you know, when I'm listening to everyone, I'm also again interested in like your services and your specializations. So, you know, for Faery, I'm like, okay, specializes in like hypnotherapy and like Akashic reading and tarot and subliminal programming and she's a music. Like I'll put that all in the bio and stuff like that. So it's great to just be able to, again, just like have fun and just get to know each other. And yeah, Nadine, you're a powerhouse. So thank you so much for joining in. And I'd say that most like, it's like, how long have you been doing like the conscious creator? Like when did you create your YouTube channel? Just
3 years ago. I'm still pretty
3 years ago. That's still pretty new. Yeah, that's still pretty new. But already you've like, are you when you do it? Like, do you have fun doing it? I mean,
I love it. I love it. I quit bartending for it. So I was a bartender before this. I did bartending for a long time. And you're basically like, you have to listen to people's problems. You help them through them. Like people are very honest at the bar. So I feel like that was kind of like like boot camp training for me, working with people kind of the way that I do. And I work with a lot of really kind of damaged, broken people. So it helps me kind of develop an understanding for what they're going through. I've had to work with a lot of people who have had issues with addiction, issues with severe trauma, PTSD, stuff like that. So kind of getting to know and be comfortable with a rougher crowd has helped me work with the clients that I have, a lot of the clients that I have right now.
Yeah. And that's where, again, you know, like even looking at things from kind of like a meta perspective is interesting. Like for us as conscious creators, like the reason why we're doing this is because like something within inside of us, it's like we want to serve, you know, like we want to help assist with the shift in consciousness. And this is something that happens on a one-to-one interaction, as well as kind of now that we have technology, something that where someone can watch a video and suddenly it's like having these interactions and these ripples are creating beyond your immediate engagement. So that's why like, man, like video still trips me out, man. Like video is very metaphysical. It's like taking this moment in time and like making it immortal. And then you show it to people and it's like they're connecting with your energy through time. Like I get tripped out when I think about video too hard every now and then, but it's a powerful tool. And so again, it's what my point in there is that for a lot of us as conscious creators, what we have done in our life has kind of what Nadine was saying, Faery is saying, is, you know, kind of like set us up for, you know, preparing us to be able to say like, whoa, like, you know, like I've got a skill or I've got a story, I've got a service, I've got something I want to share, something I want to do. Maybe I don't know fully what that is yet, but just to know that it's like inside of you. And then to know that, you know, if you hear this call inside of you, like and I'm saying this to the people watching this and as well as members of the team, like if there's something inside of you that has brought you to this broadcast where it's just like, like the idea of being a conscious creator like sparks something inside of you, what would that feel like? What would it feel like in a year from now after you've continued to kind of like build things? And it doesn't mean you're doing it to, maybe some people aren't going to do it because they're trying to, become an entrepreneur. Some people are going to do it just because they want to do it, because it's a passion, because it's a hobby, however you want to look at it. It's a different relationship for everyone. So Faery, for the people who want to connect with you, again, Instagram.com. Now it's linktree / the fascinating fairy, but then your Instagram is Seraphina Faye. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yeah, so Seraphina Faye 444. I actually have 2 Instagrams. So I have one for my shop, The Fascinating Fairy.
Oh, okay.
And then I have the Seraphina Faye 444. Either one you can find me on. You can contact me through my YouTube channel or my email, which is also The Fascinating Fairy. Most of my stuff is through The Fascinating Fairy. The Seraphina Faye 444 was kind of how I was starting the Hypnofairy Quantum Energetics. So that was the hypnosis. And I was doing all of that through my Patreon. And I had to turn the Patreon off for the last couple months because of my living situation wasn't allowing me to take as many clients. And I had like 17 at that point, and I wasn't able to get all the sessions in. I was having to move people around too much. And I just, so I told everybody that I was just going to put it on hold. Everyone's still able to book sessions with me. You just have to do it outside of Patreon.
Yeah.
So if anybody's interested in that, you can still book sessions with me. I will have them available in my Etsy shop again soon. Everything's just on hold until after my move. I'm moving in 2 weeks to another state again. So it's like moving is big. Moving states is huge. It's very complicated. So that's the only reason why my services, a lot of them are on hold right now. So in a couple weeks, they're all going to be available again. It's just right now, it's a little bit slow.
All good. So cool. Awesome. So Faery, thank you again for sharing and for being a part of the community. Again, I'm excited for you to be here and also for more people to connect to the awesome things that you do. So thank you for sharing here, and we'll keep things rolling around. And again, keeping an eye on the time. I'm okay if we go a little bit past 9:30. I don't want to go too much past that. So for those of you sharing after that, just be mindful of the time. No pressure though. We'll just kind of, again, it's just practice. So encouraging everybody here, again, be sure to connect with Faery. I'll put the links into the YouTube chat as well as in the show notes in the YouTube video. So feel free. And again, the Fascinating Fairy on YouTube would be the way where you can go. And then again, the Fascinating Fairy on Instagram as well. So cool. Awesome. Faery, thank you again so much. Beautiful. All right, we'll keep things going around here. Deon, I gave you the chance if you did want to be able to jump in next, more than welcome to. And then Lizzy, I know also joined in, and Eloiss joined in as well. So welcome to those of you here. Again, you guys let me know, like after this, like whatever order you guys want to go in, it's totally cool. So if even in the chat, if you guys just want to chat amongst each other and be like, like who wants to go next, totally fine. Deon, did you want to go next? Just since that was one of the orders we were originally referring to. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm good. Can you hear me?
Deon, do you want to be on video or do you want to be off video? It's totally up to you.
I'll throw it on quick.
Sure. Yeah. Sure. Cool. Awesome. Yeah, Deon, happy to be able to have you here, man. Like, just quick introduction. Like, it's pretty cool because like a lot of you, you guys are like people who I know through the internet. Deon kind of lives down the street from me. I mean, it's a big street, but relatively down the street. Yeah. We actually met in person synchronistically, and so it's pretty cool because we were just kind of like hanging out. And then eventually we got talking, and it wasn't about like making videos. And then eventually like Deon's just like, oh yeah, like, like I've got a YouTube channel. I'm like, dude, like I've got a YouTube channel too. It's like, we're like both making these like spiritual YouTube videos, and his videos are actually very similar to a style of videos that I played with, where a lot of it is just kind of like raw, like the thoughts of Deon on his journey of, life and spiritual awakening. But I'll let Deon tell you more about it. So Deon, give us a little bit of just kind of who you are as a conscious creator, like where you're at, a bit of your journey, and again, please feel free to do this in a way where you're inviting people to connect more with your channel and anything else that you want to share, and maybe even your visions of where might you be seeing yourself in the future as a creator. So Deon, welcome to
man. That's a lot.
No pressure, man. One at a time. We'll just chit chat as we go. So
very cool. Yeah, first, thank you, Nadine, for sharing. That was awesome. I learned a lot of stuff there. And so hey everyone, my name is Deon. Currently the only conscious media kind of content I do is YouTube, and that started about a year ago for me when I got into spirituality and had a spiritual awakening, and just kind of followed from there. Right now, there's not a set time I do for videos or have anything planned out in terms of content. It's just whatever kind of comes from the universe, I guess, and it just flows through, and I'm like, okay, I need to make a video right now, kind of thing. So I guess it's kind of laid back, but for I am interested in like broadening. How would I put this? Well, I'd say like kind of going in more into my creative side and figuring out what else I can do apart from YouTube and what more I can, you know, contribute to like the consciousness of the planet and all that stuff. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. Definitely looking to get into some more stuff and learn a lot more. Let's say like hypnotism, and let's say doing crystals or stuff like that, or anything like that. But I'm pretty open, and I'm just here to hear from all of you guys and see what you guys are doing as well. And maybe that can give me some ideas and clues as to, you know, what I might like doing, or, you know, and good connections as well. So thanks for having me here, and glad to meet you all.
So Deon, thank you for sharing. And yeah, it's interesting because like, so Deon has a YouTube channel. Deon's only on YouTube. I think that's pretty cool. Like as a creator, that like your focus, like honestly, sometimes as creators, like one of the things that's been a struggle as a creator is the idea of, you know, sometimes if it's just like where is my primary attention going to go? Is it going to be Instagram? Is it going to be YouTube? Is it going to be TikTok or something like that? Like, honestly, like a part of me is like, man, like I would love to just have a YouTube channel. Fortunately, that sales kind of ship for me. That ship's kind of sailed for me, where it's just like, you know, once you kind of get into that world, things just kind of happen. But even still with just a YouTube channel, like it's still cool to know that people are still discovering your videos. And again, even just through you being involved with this project, I hope it connects more people into your channel and stuff. So yeah, Deon, did you like right now, like you're pretty comfortable just having the YouTube and stuff like that, eh? Like that's helping you just kind of like focus in on just kind of doing it from your heart, which is the way I see it. Like it's not, it's like, I mean, you tell me, like, what's your choice for just kind of like focusing primarily on YouTube for the time?
Yeah, so YouTube, yeah, I pretty much like focusing on it. Haven't been on social media for about a year now, and I honestly don't see myself going back. Although I would love to, you know, be in that kind of conscious community where you guys are doing media, like how you said, TikTok and Instagram, and, you know, just kind of getting out there more. But for right now, yeah, YouTube is just the thing I'm doing. And more not digital stuff, I would say. I want to get into more physical creativity and see what I can do there and stuff like that. But yeah, YouTube is good for creating videos and stuff like that.
Yeah, and again, you know, I emphasize that because I think for a lot of creators, you know, we kind of have this impression that it's like, oh, if I'm going to do it, like I have to have all the platforms. But it's like nothing wrong with just starting on YouTube or to just like create like a new project on YouTube that, again, you know, you're just kind of doing it. And for Deon, you know, it's like, it's something that people are just kind of synchronistically stumbling upon. But I mean, at the very least, like it's giving you a lot of good experience. You're developing this confidence. Like, I mean, from where you were to where you are now, just being on camera, has it changed much for you?
Oh yeah. For sure. So I don't feel any uncomfortability or anything like that. Or before then, I used to feel like, you know, speaking about spirituality and stuff on camera as well, it was like, I don't know, it was like kind of unsure. I would say that, like, I was kind of unsure at first. Like, am I really saying this, or should I be putting this out? Like, is anyone going to watch this stuff, kind of things like that. And now it's more so of, you know, I know why I'm doing this, and it's what I need to do, basically. It's just what I need to do. So, and I feel good doing that. So anytime I put a video out, it's like, it's a beautiful thing.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, no, I again, for everybody here, I encourage you guys to go check out Deon. The YouTube channel is called The Journey Within. If you were to type that into the search, I doubt it would show up, and it's not the URL. So make sure you check the show notes. for the direct link for Deon's URL. I'm sure at some point you should be able to get the custom URL for that. I forget how many subs you need for that, but all in due time. And yeah, man, happy to be able to have you here. I'm glad you're able to jump in for these events. And yeah, see, like Deon's not on Instagram and he still exists. Living proof right here. So all right, Deon, anything else before we pass it around, dude?
No, just looking forward to hearing from everyone, and thank you for having me here.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah, man.
Sweet. So we'll keep things passing around. And again, you know, like right now, like we're just kind of chilling out. We're chatting, we're talking with each other. Like a big thing that I'm, again, really passionate about is like what does a collaboration look like? You know, like what if that's like creating events, even if it's like creating like video side projects and stuff like that, like what does that look like? You know, like each of us have all these abilities, but to be able to bring them together, to bring our superhero abilities together, that to me is also, you know, a question that we'll keep going back to. And again, and that's what the Paradigm Shift Central space is about as well. So any of the creators here, you'll also see these guys within the Conscious Creator database, which is again something that I'm still working on. It's still in beta phase right now, but you'll be seeing it more public in the next couple of weeks. It's like literally like 200 entries in it. I just got to spice it up a bit. So let's keep things rolling here. Who would like to go next? If any of you just want to like raise your hand real quick. I know Lizzy, yeah, we can pass over to you if you need to head at some point. And Darius and Candice, did either Lizzy or Darius, did one of you want to go next, one or the other? If you guys are cool, I mean, even just, okay, I think we'll pass over to Liz. Is that okay, Darius? We'll pass over to Lizzy and then after that? Yeah, okay, cool. All right, we'll pass over to Lizzy. Also had Neil join just a moment ago. So Lizzy, I'll pass over to you. Go ahead. You've been here for a while. So Lizzy is again one of our members. And Lizzy, again, just kind of tell us who you are as a conscious creator, what you do, your services, where you're at as a creator, et cetera, et cetera. So Lizzy, when you're ready, go right ahead.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. I just had to look. It's Neil G. He's pretty dope. Can't wait to hear from him. But yeah, I've been in the community since like March. I feel like a lot has happened since then, Brendon. So thank you for continuing to push forward for the best intention of the community. I'm happy that you brought up about collaborations. I think last time when I was on camera with you guys, it was like a work period, and one of the newer members, Sierra, unfortunately I don't think she's here, Collaborative Sunrise, she was on, and we ended up bonding on that call, and you were like, hey, like her name's like, you guys should do a collab. So we ended up putting on in September for World Peace Day this beautiful women's circle. So that leads me to my introduction. Lizzy K, at Love Lizzy K on all platforms, including Patreon, and I'm 25, I'm a human design generator, I'm a numerologist as well. I'm creating conscious programs for women. I'm a writer and a personal transformation coach. Some of my favorite things from within the community is definitely freedom of expression. Part of my journey has been taking myself through the steps to overcome shyness. I've actually gotten to the point where I've been able to self-publish a Kindle ebook on that that can be found at my link tree, Love Lizzy K. And I also love that you guys are like my esoteric buddies. Google defines esoteric as likely to be understood by only a small number of people with specialized knowledge or interest. That word and that definition has always resonated with me. I've always felt a pull towards the metaphysical, towards the esoteric. I've always felt like pretty much like the black sheep. And since March, I've been able to connect with a variety of individuals in this community that also identify as the black sheep in their families and their local communities. So last night I just did a love cast, as I like to call it, with Pinnock's Cove. I've done a live stream with Becca. So And I just mentioned this because me, like 4 years ago, honestly couldn't even picture going on screen and talking in front of tens, even hundreds, even thousands of people. So this community is definitely something that I hold close to my heart, and definitely look forward to continuing to be a part of. And I mentioned about sisterhood, and as I continue my own journey from shy to magnetic, I plan to help women to radiate their true essence. So I do this through my new signature one-to-one program that can be found in the Discord, and through sacred circles. And I'm actually entering into somewhat of a partnership with one of the sisters in Paradigm Shift Central. So really excited to work on that and to eventually announce what that's going to be. And yeah, so thanks so much everyone for joining in. Deon, definitely going to check out your YouTube, The Journey Within, and Nadine, your stuff sounds really cool too, especially the jewelry line. Like, I could always use some more obsidian in my life, so definitely looking forward to all that. I feel like that's a great introduction.
Yeah,
so
that's
pass
great.
it on next.
Yeah,
to whoever's ready.
Lizzy, thank you so much. And yeah, again, for everybody here, definitely connect with Lizzy. Again, like I love being able to just kind of like, for the people that have been involved with this community, some of you have been involved for like months, some of you have been involved for weeks, some of you have been involved for years. Again, like what I always want to be able to provide like within this space is a space to be able to practice. So again, like for Lizzy and a lot of creators, I think back to, earlier days where they may have just joined, and, the first broadcast that they were on was a broadcast within Paradigm Shift Central, and then flash forward a few months and they're hosting their own events. They're hosting their own circle. So that's the thing that we want to be able to provide here. It's just that space where it's just kind of like, one of the mantras within Paradigm Shift is like, it's just practice. Like, this is just practice, like, don't, like, whether we're doing this, like in front of 1,000 people or a small group and everything like that, it's still just practice. But I mean, even just right now, like, that's why, like, this isn't like a big, like epic, like broadcasted event. Like, there are a few people tuned in live right now on YouTube, and shout out to those of you who are, and for those of you watching in the future. And again, that's more just kind of to be able to log this, to be able to help connect more people with you guys, and yeah, to be able to help feature the creators here. But yeah, Lizzy, thank you again. And I like that you were like mentioning, it's just like, it's like there's more to come. And even I'm like, oh, like who is she working with? Like, what is happening behind the scenes here and stuff like that. So I'll stay tuned just along with everybody else. And Lizzy, thank you for again, also leading by example in terms of utilizing the Discord. One of the things in the coming weeks is I'll be present in the Discord quite more frequently, where like you'll see me posting in a variety of the channels throughout the day. And I'm doing that, again, for my own benefit, because there's value in me doing that. It helps with my own accountability and focus. And that's why it's there. It's not just, it's something that should be thought of as a chore, but more so a tool for you guys to be able to utilize. And so within the Discord, for all the members here, that's where I'm encouraging and inviting you guys to be able to share things such as your services, such as your content, such as your events. And yeah, even within the Discord, I'll just mention this real quick. Within the Discord, one of the things that's pretty cool, and again, I got a lot of things on my plate right now, but one of the things that we're moving into, this is already active, I just haven't really brought too much focus to it, is that you guys can actually earn points by participating in the Discord, where basically like, that's like my way of like thanking you guys. But when you participate in the Discord, you earn experience points. When you earn experience points, you go up in levels. For every 5 levels you go up in, you earn 5 shift points. And for those 5 shift points, you can exchange those for 5 shift buttons. So I'm basically like, I'm like paying you guys in buttons and stuff, but I'm not paying you. You're earning them. Like, you're earning the buttons, the shift buttons. And again, and you guys will be able to like get those when you like order from the shop in the future, and we'll put that in. And you can even like stockpile those shift buttons. And I'll also like be rewarding discording, like when you publish an event through Paradigm Shift, when you do a broadcast or an event, that counts as like 1 shift point. So like over a period of time, like by the end of the month, you'll probably have, you know, like a good like 15, 20 shift points that you can like put towards buttons in the future and stuff like that. And again, the buttons, they link people back to the project and everything. So that's just kind of like a cool idea to help kind of gamify things and to help add some additional, again, kind of like incentive and encouragement. But definitely in the future, inviting everybody here, like join me in kind of like making the Discord a really happen in place. And again, and that will be benefit for the entire team as more people join the Discord who are also just audience as well. So the Discord is a place for us to collaborate, as well as it's a media feed for the people who are just viewers as well. So does that sound cool? You guys like earning points through the Discord and stuff like that? It's pretty cool. I had the idea way back. We just didn't fully implement it, but now's a good time for it. So cool.
For me,
Yes,
you'll have to walk me through it when we meet on Tuesday, because
yes, we'll
it's
get you
a lot of information for my head.
No problem, Candice. We'll get you set up, and Candice, thank you again for like we'll make sure. I want to be able to like incorporate other ways that you guys are earning shift points and stuff like that. So I'm open. It's flexible and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Shift points for everyone. You get some shift points. You get some shift points.
I guess I'll go ahead.
Sure. Candice, if you would like to be able to share next. I know, again, Neil's joined, Eloiss joined, so we'll do Candice and then Darius, if you want to go after Candice. Is that okay with you? Yeah? Okay, cool. All right, so Candice, we'll pass it over to you. And Candice, if you would like to be able to introduce yourself as a conscious creator. And Candice, again, Candice has been a creator in terms of joining our community within our discussions, the support, and again, been involved in the dream class, the dream circles as well. So Candice, thank you. And go ahead and introduce yourself as a creator. So
hi, my name's Candice, and I'm a creator in many ways. I guess one of the things that I been working on is creating a world where everybody can come together and express their own art, own creativity through their art. One of, I guess you could say, that I specialize in creating a world that's called different able. So just like when people see someone different, like just not to jump to conclusion that they're incapable, but rather than to see how capable they are in their gift of being in the world. So I'm a conscious creator of waking up voice and like just creating a paradigm shift, that world that's constantly moving and creating for everybody to participate in. That's me.
Thank you so much, Candice. And And Candice, again, I love your enthusiasm and your support, the consistency in which you've been joining in for events, and I know, again, you just being here is it's interesting because we're all here to be able to inspire each other, and we're all going to inspire each other for different reasons. So Candice, thank you for being an inspiration and for being here. And again, you know, in terms of like us kind of like opening up realms for collaboration and stuff like that, you know, for Candice to be able to join in for events that we're hosting and discussions that we're hosting, like that's collaboration, there as well. I know Candice was also talking about being able to join in for the future shooting the shift broadcast that we do, where Candice can talk more there, and just being able to just kind of like check in with each other and be like, what vision do you have of the world, and maybe how can I help support that as well. So Candice, again, thank you so much. Do you want to share anything else, and then we'll pass it over to the next person?
That's it for now.
Awesome. And for everybody here, again, inviting you to connect with Candice. You can find Candice on Instagram at butterfly_love39. And the link for that is in the info on YouTube as well. So keep an eye on the time. We'll probably go a little bit later. That's okay. I'm Lacey. Well, whatever. It's okay. It's all right. Penny Dreadful can wait. Anyways, we were talking about that earlier. So Neil's here, Darius is here, and Eloiss is here as well, and we haven't heard from them just yet. So Darius, we'll pass it over to you. Neil, what's your status? I just want to be able to check. Do you have to head out at a certain point, Neil? Because I think we'll probably be wrapped up in maybe like 25 minutes, but I know Neil's got a lot to share as well. You okay? All right, cool. Sweet. So again, networking, hanging out, getting to know each other, and also again, planting the seeds for future collaborations as well. And one of the things within the project, like addition to these events, like one of the things that I want to be able to do is kind of like have that voice chat kind of like open much more frequently, where I'll be making the habit to just kind of be jumping in there and just kind of creating this like digital work table where even when I'm not there, if you guys are joining in, it's there for the intention to be able to say like, hey, like I'm working on stuff. Hey, is there anything I can help you with? Hey, this is what I'm collaborating on as well. So I'm thinking of like the Discord in our community as like a digital media co-op center where we kind of have these tables where we can hang out and support each other and share what projects we got on the go. So Darius, with that said, thank you for your patience. We'll pass it over to you, and please feel free to introduce yourself as a conscious creator. And yeah, thank you so much for being here. So Darius, when you're ready, go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, no, it's been good to hear everyone talk and kind of like share their story, kind of how they got to where they are today. And yeah, so I am Darius. Yeah, I've been kind of I am new to the paradigm shift community. I think something as of late is I've been kind of exploring self-realization and self-transcendence, and kind of understanding how, you know, different types of personal stories lead us to, I guess, triumph over our different like challenges and adversities. And so in that regard, it's been grateful to hear everyone. I guess like as far as like content, it's most of the stuff I do is art. As far as like photography, I have my Instagram in the comments, and but really I'm kind of transitioning and trying to understand kind of like my purpose from more of a broad perspective, and what type of value I can bring to others. I spent a lot of time learning about things like just like philosophy, history, science, technology. I work as a software engineer, so things like humane design and understanding how like to make technology work best with people is something that's really high up there on my list of values, I guess. And in my own personal journey, I've been pretty centered in my brain and my mind for a long time, and I think going through different periods of understanding how just kind of like I want to say like the trade-off and the transition between mind and experience. So in that regard, I've been exploring things like somatics and understanding how different types of like bodily energies feed into the mind and vice versa, and just kind of understanding how my own experience has been realized throughout my own life. That's also been kind of in a journey in recovery from like PTSD. That's something I've spent many years on, and I think as I kind of delve into more different types of content, probably going to start. I already have some ideas as far as starting with writing, and just kind of speaking to most of the things I'm interested in, talking about like the somatics, but also maybe pulling also into technology, So really kind of trying to figure out a bridge between more of like the esoteric content and more of the scientific content and spirituality, and trying to mesh that together in some form. So yeah, really excited to learn from the community and kind of see what happens. Yeah, direct experience is wild. That's something I learned. Direct experience is like, if I'll say one last thing, direct experience is like a word, right? That's like a symbol. But the actual experience itself is not something you describe with words, but is more something that you feel. And I think that was kind of maybe the seed of my spiritual awakening, is just kind of understanding that difference between almost like cognitive thinking and like cognitive awareness. So yeah, so I'll leave it at that.
Awesome. Darius, thank you so much. And again, you know, for everybody here, for all the creators, encouraging you to connect. And if you connect on Darius's Instagram, you'll see some really beautiful photography, which again, you know, I think is really special. And even just, you know, kind of like, again, kind of getting to know each other. Darius, I noticed with your photography, in a lot of the posts on Instagram, the focus is on the image. Have you ever thought of like, and this is just brainstorming again, you know, this is just kind of one of the things we do here. Like, even when you're using your photography, what about the idea of like using your photography as kind of a medium, and then maybe like putting some like quote in the description, or like, so like even just like a little blurb where it's just kind of like metaphysical insight, like question reality, little insight. And so that, is that something that might be, again, because I'm just trying to like think it's just like for all of us, you know, like we take kind of these skill sets and the things we're already doing. And then what I encourage us to do is, how do we start weaving kind of like that conscious intention into something that we may already be doing? And for me, that's just something that just kind of like, you're already creating this awesome photography. So if that's getting people's attention, and then they look at the post, and then maybe there's like a little write-up that you put up with it. Is that something that might?
Yeah, no, you got it. Actually, that is a big part. One of the big inspirations from my photography has been kind of understanding like the concept of like gestalt perception, or gestalt perception awareness. So like from, you know, there's like the physical plane of the things that you see, but then there's the more of the metaphysical level of like what things represent or could possibly be, but maybe, you know, aren't directly experienced. So yeah, I'm glad you noticed that, because I've done that a little bit with some of them, but it's like 2 or 3. I usually don't add it, because I guess it's just something I haven't done before. But yeah, no, I really like the idea. Thank you.
No problem. Yeah, no, that'd be pretty cool. And you know, I think even now, like everything's like so like fast and moving. Photography is kind of like something we kind of forget is like actually really important and meaningful and impactful. And again, just looking at your photography as an example, like you can tell a lot of it has to do with like perception and vision. And I love how you're, again, kind of like even getting some like really cool photos of like nature, but also kind of like nature with man-made structures and everything. So yeah, it's really cool. And again, I appreciate you just bringing like your wisdom to the circle, and the fact that again, your familiarity as a software engineer, that's fascinating. I'd love to even just kind of like see how that may evolve into, you know, like how do we weave consciousness into the element of software engineer and stuff like that. We'll talk more about that, I'm sure. Darius, is there anything else you want to share, even just kind of in terms of like, you know, where you would like to, and this is again also for me to be able to know, like, you know, like where would you like to grow as a conscious creator is basically my question.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think I'm moving towards like working towards entrepreneurship, and trying to figure out more types of media that I can work with. Right now, like I said, I'm thinking probably going to move towards writing and try to get more of my ideas out. And I get transmissions that I tell my friends, and I'm like, you should tell people too. So that's kind of maybe the start. And then going independent and trying to figure all that stuff out. So I think that's probably where I'm growing towards.
Awesome. Well, lots more to be able to talk about and brainstorm there. So Darius, thank you again for joining in. And yeah, for those of you, Darius Trassel, am I pronouncing that correctly on Instagram?
Trussell.
Trussell? Like it's kind of a
just Strassel, like straws.
Strussel?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay, perfect. Awesome. So again, check out Darius on Instagram, and yeah, be sure to connect there as well. So Darius, thank you again. Awesome. Cool. Again, you know, that's kind of the thing with the community here. Like we've got like a lot, like as creators, we've all had our own path. We've all had our own journey. We all got our own skill sets. We all got kind of like our own specialties. And that's really cool to be able to bring that into the table. Cause you know, like down the road, that's like something where now that, you know, Darius like is involved with like photography and software engineer, if you're in the community as a member and you're like, hey, you know, like, oh, like Darius, like, I really like your photo. Like, can I use that for something? Like, what if we were to use that as like a background and somebody else spices it up and puts some like text on top of it and stuff like that? That's where collaboration isn't always going to be this process of creating something brand new, but it could be something that's already made, and then somebody else sees it and they kind of figure out a way to remix it. It's kind of like this remix culture, which is something really, really cool to start getting into and everything like that. I'm imagining right now, I don't know why this, I'm just like imagining like someone like going into like Deon's video and editing out some sound bites and then putting that over an EDM track or something like that. So why not? But I can literally do that for anybody's video, but I don't know. I just know like Deon has like a bunch of like cool like audio, again, kind of like little snippets and gems in there and stuff like that. So a little example there, but yeah, no, remix culture. Start thinking about that. Explore each other's content and be like, oh man, like that's where, again, I want to spend like days where we're just like hanging out and just like creating stuff just to get creative, right? So okay, let's keep things rolling along here. Thank you again, everyone, for joining in. Kyle also joined in. Kyle, thank you for joining in. We'll keep things rolling here. We'll probably go till about 10, but at that point, we'll have to cut it off. Neil, Eloiss, Kyle, you guys are welcome to, well, if anything, Neil and Eloiss, you guys just let us know if you'd like to go next since they were just here first. Eloiss, would you like to go next? That's cool. And Neil, you're okay with that? All right, cool. All right, so Eloiss, thank you so much for joining us. Eloiss, aka Wheezy, has again been involved in the community has been what, like a couple thousand years now so far, few weeks, I guess, but it feels longer and everything. Yeah. Well, Eloiss, please, again, tell us who you are as a conscious creator, and again, kind of like where are you looking to grow as a conscious creator down the road, events you're seeing yourself doing. Again, I know this is stuff we've kind of talked about, but please, and again, this is also a chance for people to find out about the things you're doing, see if it's something they might be interested in, to have that invitation and connect with you further. So yeah, Eloiss, go ahead whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Brendon. And thank you everyone for sharing. I'm super excited to be here tonight and share some of my ideas. I was definitely guided here by someone, So the past like couple months or a year and a half or whatever, ever since like COVID hit and we went through that like kind of weird phase of like lockdown, I had felt like a lot of social anxiety, and I felt very guided to be here. And like I literally never felt social anxiety before any of the events here, and so that is why I'm here, and that's why I'm really excited to share. And so first, I'll kind of go over some of my background, and then I'll kind of go into what I want to do with that. And I'm actually really excited that Neil is here tonight, because honestly, he connected with me so much in his first presentation in the Portal to Ascension conference that they had at the first couple days of October. So the first day was October 1st. And he went into like a whole bunch of anthropology stuff, and I have a master's in medical anthropology. So you like touched on so many things that I had thought about when I was in school that no one talked about. And so alternative anthropology is now like my number one thing that I have to get into and become like an expert in. I haven't done that yet because I currently work a really high stress job. So right now I'm working for Colorado Medicaid, which is a state government job, and it's really difficult, but ultimately I have a lot of experience with like health equity and diversity, equity, and inclusion, and qualitative research, and bringing that into areas that have been more focused on quantitative research. And so currently what I'm doing is looking at like member experiences of healthcare and comparing that to like rate what we're paying for services. But I would like to do that more broadly. And I'm also very interested in neurodivergency, and that was also brought up in one of the presentations at the Portal to Ascension conference with ADHD, and like this idea that like ADHD brains aren't necessarily lacking dopamine, but we just like use it really fast. And so that's why we're constantly like having those dopamine lows. And that's like kind of the direction of where the human brain is going. And that just like blew my mind. I am so interested in pursuing those topics and kind of bringing my expertise in research and anthropology to that field. And then I've also just like personally been very interested in like tarot and oracle reading and empathic healing like modalities. I'm also a musician. I like went to college for 2 years for music performance. So just like a weird amalgamation of things in my background that all kind of resonate with people here today and with the topics that we're talking about. And then lastly, I also have a fascination with sacred geometry and crystal gridding and that kind of stuff. I even have like my little Merkaba crystals with me because being neurodivergent with ADHD, I need like a little thing to hold on to while I'm listening to everyone else talk. So yeah, those are just like my general things of my background. And what I want to do is with my background in research and like facilitating focus groups and doing interviews and like facilitating meetings, I would really like to work to bring people together where we could look at like evidence-based research, but also have an element of empathy and critical thinking and intuition to approach like worldly issues and bringing people together. Because I think that, you know, individually we are very intelligent beings, but together we can accomplish so much more. And so I really would like to, you know, push people in that direction to create those spaces for discussion where that can happen and have conversations where, you know, we can address things like climate change and, you know, race. I put that in quotes because it's like a huge thing, but just difficult conversations, but approach them with like empathy and critical thinking together. And I'm going to start my conscious creative content with creating a space for neurodivergent individuals to kind of come together and share ideas, have a space where they feel like comfortable sharing ideas. Because I know that sometimes when I share crazy ideas with people, they're like, what are you talking about? And it's like, you have to go above and beyond. You have to think outside of the box in order to get anywhere. And so I want to create a space where people feel safe doing so. And it doesn't have to be exclusively for neurodivergent people, but, you know, people who want to hang out with people in that space and just have that in mind when interacting with other people. And I also appreciate Candice and what she's trying to do, and would love to incorporate some of that like able body work with neurodivergency, because I don't think, you know, what our society has perceived as disabilities, I think are really truly gifts in other capacities, and that's how we need to frame them, and that's how we should be talking about them. And I'd love to have spaces where we do that. So yeah,
I love to partner with you, so we'll do it. I'm there.
Amazing. Awesome. Yeah, so I can really see myself collaborating with a lot of people here, and right, because I don't really have like anywhere to kind of funnel my skills right now, but I'm learning. I have so much capacity to learn and engage and passion about this work, and so I'd love to collaborate in different spaces. And thank you again, Brendon, for having this space for conscious creators, and I'm so glad that I stumbled upon this and found this. So thank you so much. And I'll conclude there with that.
Oh, thank you too, Eloiss, for synchronistically stumbling upon it. And yeah, again, we'll just I'm just wanted to be able to again just kind of even just reiterate some of the things that you were saying there, where for a big part of like why this community exists is to be able to give a place for you guys to like use as like a sounding board, basically, where it's just like, hey, this is an idea I have, and to just like practice talking it out loud, which thus in turn helps crystallize it into form. So we got a pretty interesting community here. What you'll find here within the Paradigm Shift Central community is fairly unique, where like it's not like the biggest community, but at the same time, like all the people who are here are like good, kind-hearted people. And again, within that, that's where I want to be able to continue to create these spaces where all of us are coming together, and we're again just getting to kind of like collaborate and talk about the ideas that we're doing. Because even just for Eloiss as an example, outside of this community, it'd probably be hard for Eloiss to be able to say like, hey, like, this is a project that I have in mind, and I'm just going to like freaking go ahead with it and everything like that. Not to say it's impossible, but I mean, just to have that extra support where, she's talking to me and she's talking to other people and putting out ideas. And then what you'll find is that, you only need a small group of people to be able to start something up. You don't need to do something and suddenly you're expecting to have like 50 people for one event. Start your event with like 4 people, 5 people, if you're lucky, so to speak. And then from there, it naturally just kind of grows. And with that, again, Eloiss is gaining the experience and it's the momentum. So Paradigm Shift is a place to be able to start those projects that may be brand new, and to have it done with that extra support and that confidence, and then to use the other connections with people in the community who are going to be there, where we're going to promote it within the community. And, people are going to be like, oh, sweet, like I want to be at that event. And we're intentionally joining each other's events, especially when we know if it is something that they're just getting started. So now, for everybody here who's had the chance to just be able to listen to Eloiss, like there's an emotional connection where you're going to see Eloiss continuing to grow, and suddenly it's going to be a couple of weeks and be like, oh, like she's doing it. Like this is the thing that she was talking about doing, and now she's doing it. How cool is that? And then again, it kind of inspires you. And for everybody here, that's where I want to plant the seed and hold the space where it's just like, if you were to host an event, what would that look like? If you were to host a discussion, what would that be about? So start thinking about that. And going back to what Eloiss is also doing, again, as conscious creators, a big part of it is being able to, and this kind of sounds like an entrepreneurial thing, and it is, it's both relatable, but again, it's being able to identify a need and then provide the solution. So for Eloiss, the need is coming from direct experience where, again, there's not a lot of space for conversations for neurodivergence to be able to gather. What can we do about it? Oh no, we can either sit around and wait, or Eloiss taking the initiative is like, well, I can create one, and here we are. So yeah, Eloiss, anything else you just want to be able to share? And for everybody here, connect with Eloiss right now on Instagram, and that's at Instagram Wheezy for Sheezy. And I love that Instagram name, by the way. Eloiss, anything else you just want to be able to add in, even if it's just like in response to anything I said, if that resonated?
Yes, that's perfect. What you said is great. And then yeah, my name is Eloiss, and Wheezy for Sheezy is my Instagram. And yeah, I'm excited to see what comes out of this. It's such a great community, and I've been completely inspired. And not to say, I mean, there are spaces out there for neurodivergent individuals and people with ADHD, but I feel like there's an overlap here that I have not yet found. And I feel that it speaks to so many of my personal experiences, but that there's more people out there who would resonate with that, or who would just be interested in exploring it more. And so because I just have like crazy ideas sometimes, and like sometimes I want to go off on some crazy tangent with my ADHD mind and do that. And my mom's like, I have to go. Like, great talk. So, those kinds of things. So yeah, thank you again, Brendon, and I'll pass it on to the next person. Oh, and this is my dog, Luna. She wants to say hi.
So yeah, no, any event, bring your animals in. That's cool.
Yeah, all animals welcome.
Cool. All right, Eloiss, Luna, thank you again, and encourage everybody to be able to connect.
She's
What's that,
so
Candice?
cute.
So cute. Yeah, super.
Good dog.
Beautiful. Awesome. So again, for everybody here, if you're just like interested in what Eloiss is doing, I would encourage you, for those of you who, whether you're members, whether you're just tuned in the audience, send Eloiss a direct message, leave a comment on their Instagram, just be like, hey, this is something I'm interested in. Can you let me know when that event's happening? And then, lo and behold, the connection's made. So let's keep things moving along. Again, I know I said I'd like to be able to wrap things up at 10. We still have Neil and also Kyle was able to join us. Welcome, Kyle. Thank you so much for dropping in. And Kyle's got their dog as well. I didn't even see that. So dog party. So Neil, I'll pass it over to you, dude. And we'll keep an eye on the time, but no rush either way. So Neil, again, good buddy within the community. Neil could literally talk for, he's already done this. He's already done entire presentations about what he does as a creator and facilitator. And again, Neil's the facilitator for the Portal to Ascension. And that's a really incredible community where they do all sorts of online events, physical events, and they recently had the Portal to Ascension conference. And so Neil, you can just kind of talk a bit about, again, kind of like who you are as a creator, and also kind of, like where are you looking to grow as a creator, and maybe, what are you looking to be able to get out of your involvement even within the community? How can we help you? Anything, and even just, again, a bit of your experience as being as a creator, and maybe some words of wisdom that will inspire fellow creators as well. So Neil, thank you so much for being here, dude. Passing it over to you.
Thank you, brother. Hello, everybody. Nice to be with you all. Is my audio coming out all right? Thumbs up? Cool. So normally I have a lot more energy, but I just went to my first Muay Thai class and it freaking kicked my ass, like literally kicked my ass. I did jumping rope, the most cardio I've ever done in at least 4 years. So I'm freaking exhausted. So that's actually good for us. Okay. So I'm happy to be here with you all. I love Brendon so much. Just everything he's created, and the fact that, basically these are leaders having conversations about like leading us into this new reality that we're creating, and as Brendon said, we're facilitators. There's no hierarchy here. We're basically facilitating the energy of what is now manifesting and the world that we're going to go in. So I'm like just super grateful that there is even this, opportunity to really just connect with you all. And just a little bit about me. So I'm the founder of an organization called Portal to Ascension. I created an online group in 2006 called 2012 Consciousness, Mind Evolution, and Presence. It was a Facebook group, and thousands of people started joining it. And even though I was into all this information, 2012, extraterrestrials, I was deep into, when I first woke up, into like the ancient connection of extraterrestrials, I still had a lot to research. So I created the online group just to see who would show up and learn from them. So with thousands of people joined, like pretty soon I added like as many people as possible to my personal friend page, and just started learning a lot of information. As time progressed over 2 years, from 2006 to 2008, I had a series of dreams. And the last dream I had told me to change the name to Portal to Ascension. So in 2008, I shifted the name to Portal to Ascension. But at that point in my life, like from 2000 to 2008, from when I was 18 to 8 years later, 26, I was deep into the conspiracies. Like I was like hardcore into fear. I was worried about that they are out to get us. And I really didn't feel the love and the spirituality of everything that I was into. So it took me until 2008 when I had an experience at an open mic, and where I connected with my soul family, and someone was on stage, someone who became my good friend afterwards, and he was singing this song called My Name is Love, right? And I was just like sitting there kind of like at the open mic, but I'm not feeling really good. I was, as I said, deep into conspiracies. And when I heard those words, I realized that the missing link in all of my search for spirituality, consciousness, vibration, ETs, the original reason I got into all of this in the first place was because I was on a search for the root of all religion. I realized that so many religions have so much in common, but we always talk about what our differences are rather than what our similarities and commonalities are. So I was really in the mind, right? Just like all about the intellectual information. When I heard those words from him, something just clicked in my head, and I realized that the missing link was just like the love vibration, and realizing that all of the external reality that happens to us is just what we signed up for, basically, that we came down here to have this contrast, and having this contrast of light and dark allows us to remember, the light. And as I shifted my belief around, this is happening to me being a creator of my reality, that's when I had the dream to change the name to Portal to Ascension. So I feel like it was divinely orchestrated that I was meant to shift it as my own belief system shifted. So in 2008, I created my first group, my first event. It was called Hypno Creativity. It was a hypnosis meditation event where afterwards you would like draw like an art piece or something, right? So that just continued going. I did more hypno creativity events, sound healing events, and then 3 tours from San Diego to Vancouver to Victoria Island, back and forth. From 2008 to 2010, I'd done over 350 live events on tour. But the way we did it was that we really didn't have any money to go from city to city. So whatever event we would do in that city would give us the money to go to the next one. So that was kind of like the beginning of Portal to Ascension. And I had a lot of like event production experience in that time, just calling venues, coming up with a script on what to say to them, so that working out percentages on how much the venue will get, how much we will get, making sure that would be enough for us to get a hotel for the night and eat and all that. So I feel that was like kind of like the testing ground for me just in event production. So I continued creating events and it really did start picking up momentum. However, as I was doing these events from like 2010 to now, I quit Portal to Ascension 3 times. And the reason why I quit was it wasn't paying the bills, basically. Like, not only that, I was on a search for some sort of healing from experiences I had when I was a child. When I was a child, very young, from 3 to 7 years old, I was molested. And it really affected me and created a huge trauma that has been stuck with me my whole life. There's this like darkness within me that came from that was imprinted on me, that I've been on a search for trying to get rid of ever since I started Portal to Ascension. And not until like 6 years into it on an ayahuasca journey did I even realize that's why I created it, right? So like, and as I was searching all this stuff, I found hundreds of modalities, all these energy healers, all these things, and I started doing events with them to explore this. But as I realized like I wasn't healing, like nothing was changing within me, I still felt that like trauma, and also I like literally couldn't afford to eat. I quit Portal to Ascension probably over 3 times, but every time I quit, there was some sort of synchronicity, some like really, I wish I could remember what they were, but some random synchronicity pulling me back into consciousness, pulling me back into this work. And then 7 years ago, I made a decision to myself, I quit my full-time job 7 years ago, and I've been doing Portal to Ascension full-time ever since. And 7 years ago, I said, all right, like, now I'm not going to ever quit again. No matter what happens, I'm never going to say I'm done with this work. I will always do this work on some level, whether I have to go back and work at a 9 to 5, or if I, or if I can do it full time. And so for the last 7 years, we've been growing. We've cultivated an online university in which we're doing 110 events a year at this point. For the last 3 years, it's been 110 events. 20% of those events are live live in person, multi-day events, retreats, tours. There are some speakers like James Redfield from the Celestine Prophecy, for example, that I facilitate his international tours every couple of years. And then there are other authors that might reach out to me and say, hey, can you do a tour for us? But all we need is flights, hotels, and Ubers. And then our company will handle that. Some author might come out to us and say, we need you to handle everything. I don't do anything. I just want to show up at the airport and everything's handled, but I'll help out with marketing. So we have like a very flexible production company in which we're able to do anything that they really ask, from taking over and doing the whole thing to just doing a little bit of it. And then on top of that, the online events where we're creating a lot of content, thousands of content, there's thousands of hours. There's about 10,000 hours right now at this moment of presentations on our website. It's kind of like Netflix for consciousness. You can search by speaker, topic, and we're upgrading our site right now. So long story short, basically my mission really is just the upliftment of humanity and everything that falls within it. We're called Portal to Ascension, and I love the word ascension because it's really fully encompassing, that all elements are within it. We're always going through some sort of vibratory shift. We're transcending in every moment. We're ascending and descending all the time. Extraterrestrials, history, new advanced science, quantum physics, all really fit within that, in that heading. So I've been creating events that just funnel us to this awakening moment from every avenue that we can really, dissect and go into. At this point, and the last thing here, at this point, I'm really happy because we're at a point where we're able to do some really massive free events every single year. And I'm able to do, go into topics. Like I've done 8 True World History online conferences, right? True World History online conferences. So it's the whole entire event on True World History. But now we're able to do like a full event on just one civilization, another one, another civilization. We just had our, just 3 days ago, we had our first conference on the Mayan civilization. It was just called the Mayan Online Conference, and it was 10 hours of the Mayan civilization. And then next month, we're doing India. The week after that, we're doing Sumeria, Mesopotamia. So I'm having a lot of fun creating events. In a few weeks here, I'm going to Yucatan, so I'm gonna be down there live streaming from some ancient sites there as well. And that's about it. Just besides that, I'm growing our YouTube channel, and I'm directing as much people there as possible because I YouTube, I left it dormant for like 5 years, but for the last year, I've been putting out a lot of content there. So if you want to see, not only myself going live with some of my friends, but also lots of different events on many topics, you can check it out on our YouTube. Thank you, guys.
Neil, I love the portal extension event. It was really cool
Thank
to
you.
watch. I'll always be part of it. Love it.
Thank you so much, Candice. Appreciate that.
Yeah. And Candice, I'm glad you're able to tune in for that. I assume a lot of people here knew about the Portal to Ascension event, again, because Neil and I were collaborating within it. So, again, we were both serving as ambassadors, and I did my part to be able to invite a bunch of the people from Paradigm Shift into it. And it's kind of funny, even actually, Kyle, who is in the group, who we'll hear from shortly as well. Kyle, I ran into at the park in my local city, who's doing breath work in the park, and Kyle, again, he'll introduce himself in a moment. Kyle is again really cool just to be able to know that the breath work you're working on is something that Kyle's just kind of expanding into the sphere of digital media. But it was funny because when we were talking in the park, I'm like, dude, I gotta go. I'm going to be on this broadcast. I'm going to be on the Portal to Ascension. And then I had to bike back. And then lo and behold, Kyle tuned into that. Kyle would have seen Neil here. And now here we are all in the same room. And it's just see, that's kind of the thing with with digital space and community and getting to know some other awesome people. We're all just human. We're all just regular people. And Neil, you've worked alongside some really big people who are again, authors and award-winning this and that and everything like that. But then to just kind of hang out here and everything like that, dude, it just, brings it down to earth, which I think is so important. Neil, you're about to jump in, but please, by all means, if there's something you want to share.
No, there wasn't anything else. I would love to express can you hear me?
Yeah. Go for it.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just chit chatting right now, anyway. So
yeah. I'd like to express my love for you, bro. I really, really love you, man. You're so freaking awesome. Every person that interacts with you at every one of my events has a conversation with me about you after the event.
Okay.
That's how freaking awesome you are, man. And just the way you present yourself. And I was at Joan's house for the last 3 days, Joan of Angels.
Yeah, Joan, I was just DMing her behind the scenes right now, actually. So
yeah. So she was saying Brendon, man, he's so powerful. And and that was the perfect way to say it. Just the way you present yourself and the way you communicate. It's just you have that power within you, man. So I'm just happy that I'm we're homies,
Dude, totally, man. That's what I mean. It's really cool to be able to, have a community where you have people who may just be getting started. And then you have people like Neil and even myself who have been doing this for, again, well over a decade. And yet again, we're all just, as the water rises, so does every ship. So yeah, Neil, I know we can talk more about this, but we'll just kind of keep things moving along. But for everybody here, check out portaltoascension.org. And again, Neil is hosting a ton of events through there. So if you haven't checked it out, there's so much to be able to explore. And yeah, you can even go back and check out the Portal to Ascension conference that we were doing a couple weeks ago. And yeah, I know there's more to talk about, but we'll get back to it soon enough. But I hope just by you guys listening to Neil, I hope it inspires you. And again, keep an eye open, because I'm sure Neil and I will be, again, continuing to collaborate here and there. And who knows where that will go in the future. And yeah, Neil, I was even going to say, like if there's because both of us are like so busy and stuff, dude. But dude, even if outside of this, if you want to brainstorm, like if there's like an event I can do for Portal to Ascension, or not like not the conference, but just kind of whatever, because that's a lot of what Neil does, where there'll be like individual specific events for creators. Like feel free to let me know, dude, if that's something that we can just kind of.
Oh, that's for sure. Actually, I would love to do that. I'll hit you up about it.
Yeah, because I know there's a lot of possibilities there, and that could be something where, again, it's even like inviting in some of the other members from the community or something, or maybe, I don't know. There's a lot there. I'm not going to rush it, but I know we can definitely, because Neil's like the network that Neil has built through Portal to Ascension is quite established. So it's really cool where when you do events and you send out that email blast, which is like thousands of emails, like guaranteed there's going to be at least like 100 people tuned in for the events that you do. So it's pretty cool to just kind of, be able to like share the resources and the networks that we've got between the two of us as well. So cool. Neil, anything else before we pass it around?
No, that's it for me.
Okay, cool. Sweet. Awesome. So thank you again. And to those of you who haven't connected with Neil, again, you can find Neil also on Instagram. And that's instagram.com/Portal to Ascension. And yeah, like Neil does a lot of other stuff too. Like outside of like managing Portal to Ascension, Neil also does like a lot of like spoken word and like kind of like hip hop and everything. So again, it's kind of cool to see like the variety of skill sets that we all have as well. So, and I loved what Neil was saying, where, this is something that's really important that we're emphasizing, where again, Neil talking about why he was doing Portal to Ascension, where it's just like, it's this calling. It's like, it's our soul, like just like knowing that this is like something that we want to be able to involve ourselves with, where again, it's us going back to that feeling inside of us where it's just like, I want to help make the world a better place. How do I do it? And then this is us living that question. So that's where, again, for a lot of us, it's just like, I got something that has changed my own life. I want to share it. And so it's really cool to be able to help support you guys in sharing that as well. And that even kind of like sets up, I know even as we kind of like segue and we can pass over to Kyle, I'm sure that even like relates with Kyle as well, where your experience with breath work has kind of like inspired you to want to be able to coach breath work as well. So Kyle, we'll bring you up. Dude, thank you so much. Go ahead and just test your microphone real quick if you can.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, dude. Are you okay with sharing right now? Is that cool? We can pass over to you and do yeah. Cool.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm not 100% sure what I'm sure, but
yeah. I was just gonna say, like, just to keep it simple, like, just kind of tell us like who you are as a creator and like where you like who you are as a conscious creator and like where you're at. And again, that can be a bit of your story with again, like your focus on breath work and like what your specialties are and things, and just kind of like where you want to grow as a creator as well. And we can just kind of chit chat. And then after Kyle, we'll go around one more time and then we'll get wrapped up after that. But Kyle, go ahead and thank you for being here, dude.
All right. Thank you for having me. I definitely, after learning the breathing and the ice bath kind of stuff, I really want to teach people how to use their body. Basically use the mind-body connection and learn how to grow onto this online platform. But I'm really happy to be here at like the Portal. The Portal to Ascension the other day was amazing. And what I like about being in these groups is everyone's studying their own kind of piece of the puzzle. And then all the pieces of puzzles tend to match or tend to mesh together to help create like a bigger picture of reality. So I'm really thankful for being around people that are studying the mystery. And as for the breathing, I'm just trying to teach myself how to teach better. Be able, like, I can do it myself. I can get on one-on-one person, but when I'm in a group of people, I'm trying to grow that experience. The more I can do it, the more comfortable I get with it. Same with like these online chats. The more I do this, the more I can get comfortable with like expressing myself on the internet, instead of more in person or just a one-on-one kind of thing. And I'm really excited to reach more people because I know a lot of people need the breathing, and I always heard just breathe, just meditate. And I've tried. Meditating's nice and those things, but when you really push the breathing and you realize that your body's like this mechanism that you can just change the chemistry willingly within 15 to 30 minutes, it can help. Like if you're going to go on stage and do some sort of show or do anything, and you got a little bit of nerves, or you're about to go for a run or like a marathon run or any kind of thing that you have like pressure, you can basically in 15 to 30 minutes recalibrate your chemistry in your body, oxygenate up, and basically be ready for what you're about to do in a very calm state of mind, and like no nerves anymore. So like I think it has a lot of benefit for the world, and obviously people, like everyone's we're definitely struggling with like depression, anxiety, isolation, all these things with COVID. And I'd rather, instead of like I was focusing a lot on like the communism idea of COVID, the idea like the conspiracies, the way it's all going. But instead of get mad and push that, I want to push the spiritual side a lot harder, but like in a very good way. And I feel like teaching people breathing is allowing people to go inside without like, because some people think the psychedelics might be too much. Well, here, we'll do a breathing session and you feel like what it is. So you feel what it's like to go into inner space. And I feel like pushing people forward in this way is the only way to change. Like if we want to change whatever's going on, you basically have to raise the consciousness instead of tell the person, hey, this is crazy, because no one can understand if you're on those lower levels, in a sense. I don't want to be like rude towards it, but yeah, other than that, I want to teach people breathing.
That's awesome, Kyle. Thank you so much again for sharing and for being here. And again, it's cool because like Kyle's like had this experience, but like literally for everybody here, like do Kyle a favor. I don't know if that's the best way of saying it. And go follow his Instagram, literally just because he's just getting started, like literally just at like 10 followers. I know, I think someone literally just followed him just a minute ago within the group. But again, like one of the big things here within the community is supporting. So it's kind of cool where, even just for Kyle, like pretty much just getting into the door with the community and really just feeling like, hey, this is something exciting. Again, that's where for you, Kyle, as an example, I want to be able to help support you where, we can brainstorm and say like, okay, like Kyle, do you want to like host like an upcoming like breathwork session online? And then again, like we do that, we decide, we set a date, put it out there in the community, people join in, and that becomes like practice for Kyle to be able to help facilitate an event, more people to be able to receive the service of that. And then again, it kind of builds this reputation and this momentum in this relationship where, there's so many different skill sets within the community. And that's where, as we get going, to be able to work with you guys and being able to kind of like even schedule like regular events where it's like, okay, like maybe Kyle's going to be hosting like a breathwork event within the community like once a week or something like this. And then again, from there, that can also evolve into, and I know I even just mentioned it with Kyle outside the broadcast very briefly, the idea of having like that like membership within like a community membership where people can join Kyle's like ongoing like breathwork exercises that would be for like members only, kind of again like helping him build like a Patreon or something similar, or again just helping get set up with like the services and even the one-to-one stuff as well. So yeah, again, Kyle, I'd love to even just give you a chance, just not for me, but also for you, like where do you want to grow as a creator, and just kind of chatting about this from like a brainstorming perspective as well. Like what are some things that are starting to kind of like get the gears turning within your head that you'd be excited to do more and to be able to help reach out to people? No,
that's a big question. Honestly, I haven't really given that much thought. I've been really focusing on just wanting to grow that, just get more people on the breathing, get more people on the inner thought, maybe the deep conversations. For me personally, like I study a lot of philosophy and a lot of religion and take a lot of psychedelics, and I love to explore the mind. So I basically want a space where we can explore that type of spirituality. And that's definitely my ultimate goal. Like the breathing's important, but I believe the discussion and spiritual development of other people and ourselves is like way more important.
Totally, dude. Yeah. And again, it's cool because like hearing you say that, like that's exactly, again, when I was starting this out, like it's the same vision. Like it's the same thing within each and every single one of us, where there's something inside of us that's just like, bringing people together and having these discussions, like it's important. Like we know that needs to happen. So that's where, again, even within the community, you'll hear me reiterate this time and time again, where, like we have Paradigm Shift Central created as a place where, we're having these conscious discussions, but anything that you see within Paradigm Shift, like as a fellow creator, like feel free to mimic it, like create a community that's also bringing people together and also having these conscious conversations. If you enjoy the conversations that I host, see it as an example for you to be able to say like, oh, like, can I create a similar thing? Can I create a similar space? What would my community look like? What would my events look like? If that's something that you legitimately, again, feel inspired to do. And yeah, that's something that I'm totally here to support. So yeah, Kyle, again, I'm happy to be able to, again, just kind of like help you within these early stages. And I'm excited to be able to just see, even just like in a couple months from now, what it might look like for you to be able to have reached out to more people online. And even like you're meeting people like in person. So there's going to be that opportunity where you're like meeting people in person and then you're inviting them into the online space. So just having that space created as well will just kind of open up more ways in which we can serve people, which is exactly what we're here to do. So yeah, Kyle, how does that sound?
It's fractal.
Fractals, dude. It's all fractals, man.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah,
Thank
man.
you.
Awesome. So yeah, Kyle, anything else you want to be able to share? Or otherwise we'll just kind of get so.
No, for now it's good.
That's cool.
Peace, everybody. Thank you.
No problem, dude. And currently as it is, are you offering like if people would reach out for you for like, are you doing like any online one-on-one coaching or anything like that? Is there any services that you're currently doing online, or could that be a thing?
Sure. I haven't set up something like that, but I definitely would.
Yeah. So for everybody here, feel free to reach out to Kyle, beautiful_breathing on Instagram. And yeah, maybe just let him know that you're interested, be it in maybe like a one-on-one session or an upcoming online thing that Kyle may be doing in the future. We'll figure it out. No rush on that and stuff like that. So
Love the idea.
Awesome. Well, dude, thank you so much for being open to it. So Kyle, thank you again for joining in. I'm glad you're able to make it. And yeah, with that said, we'll get close to wrapping things up, team. We've gone a little bit past the hour. So let's just go around with just kind of like closing thoughts and gratitude. And then from there, we'll wrap it up. But again, this is a conversation. I know for some of us, it's just like, we can feel the momentum starting to build. So we take this momentum and we carry it with us into next week, and that's where we'll have another event on Thursday. I always try to do those events on Thursdays. And then again, Wednesdays, we have our circle discussions. Those are there for you guys to practice as well. Those are, again, kind of like the philosophical discussions that we do through the Discord. And then Tuesdays, we have our conscious creator collaboration circle, which is kind of similar to this, not always recorded, but again, a place where we're specifically like, that's the work table. That's where we're showing up and we're like, hey, this is what I'm working on. What can we help each other with? And that's something where I can help you with like specific things as a conscious creation coach. But it's also a chance for us to kind of like network and collaborate as well. And then Mondays, we have for at least what I host, there's other stuff happening throughout the week that other creators are doing. The Shooting the Shift, which is a place where sometimes you guys are coming on air and I'm helping feature you guys as creators. And that's on Instagram at 4 p.m. EDT. And yeah, again, I would just encourage you guys to follow my lead as we get things rolling on the Discord. So as you start seeing me use it more, follow my lead and start using the Discord more. And yeah, let me specifically, this is very important. If you guys have any upcoming events or broadcasts, let me know. There is a channel in the Discord called Event Planning. Let me know of your events and we'll include those into the weekly schedule. And then that's what we kind of use to be able to help direct people to your events as well. And you can also post your services, your items, and your content. No rush on it. Explore it. Send me a direct message if you guys got any questions. And yeah, we'll just kind of, again, think of Paradigm Shift Central as a game, and the way we play the game is by interacting in the Discord as well. Oh, and you'll also earn the shift points as well. So cool. Is that cool with you guys? You guys enjoying having fun being here? Everybody getting some good value out of this, even if it's, again, just like the inspiration of just enjoying each other's company is something in itself. So the other thing is, like, as we get going, again, like I said, I do kind of, outside of the conscious creator collaboration circles, I do want to kind of like create more of that ongoing space where the collaboration is just kind of happening, not just in these meetings, but again, just kind of like throughout the weeks as well. So with that said, let's just go around the circle one last time and maybe even just kind of go around with the order that we originally started off in. I appreciate you guys being here, your patience. I know there's a lot to share and a lot of awesome people and only so much time. So be sure to connect with all the creators here. So Faery, did you want to just be able to share any closing thoughts and gratitude? And then from there, let's just like 1 or 2 minutes each, and then we'll get wrapped up and then we'll call it a night. So Faery, go ahead, back to you.
Hi, thank you so much. So I just wanted to send love and gratitude to everyone for being here, and I enjoyed listening to all of you guys talk. If anybody's interested in working with me, please feel free to reach out through any of my platforms. You can find me pretty much anywhere right now. If you ever want to do like trades or anything like that, I'm up for that as well. So thank you so much for having me, and I enjoyed being here.
Awesome. Thank you, Faery. And again, for everybody here, you'll find the links for them in the YouTube info. For those of you watching live on YouTube, refresh this like 5 minutes after the conclusion of the event, and you'll see the links in the YouTube info there as well. So thank you again, Faery. So, all right, cool. Okay. Who was originally, it was Deon. Deon jumped out, so that's fine. Lizzy, go ahead. You can join in, and just any closing gratitude and anything else you want to say.
Oh, awesome. My AirPod is falling out. I hope you can hear me.
It's good. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, I love these moments where we get to really like spend time with each other face to face. It's one thing to be in the Discord interacting with each other, which I'm loving more and more as time goes on, but it's another thing to be able to connect with each other on video. Excited to continue my spiritual entrepreneurship journey, and have you all as witnesses and divine mirrors as well. Thank you, Brendon, for allowing me to practice showing up on camera and building my own community as well. Looking forward to trading as well. I think I mentioned at the beginning that I've been on some awesome collaborations. So looking forward to just the magic that is going to come from this. I've been really focusing on my writing, and that whether that be in blogs or program styles. And yeah, looking forward to the dream, awakening within the dream with y'all. So thanks so much. Love you guys.
Awesome. Thank you, Lizzy. All right, we'll keep things rolling here. And Candice, do you just want to share any closing gratitude? Please, by all means, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say love being here and love everybody.
Thank you so much, Candice. Happy to have you here. And Darius, we'll pass it over to you. Darius, if you want to just share any closing gratitude, go for it.
Yeah, absolutely. It was great to meet everyone. It was an awesome time. Feel like I learned a lot, and consciousness expansion. So yeah, hope you all have a great rest of your day or evening or whatever your time zone is.
Thank you, Darius. And Wheezy, we'll pass it over to you. Any closing gratitude?
Yeah, thank you, everyone. I'm so grateful for this space and for just the passion and like the energy from everyone. It's so inspiring, and I had been so uninspired for too long. So it's such a great feeling to have back and to look forward to doing great things. So see everyone soon.
Awesome. Thank you, Wheezy. And again, a big part of within the community, I always remind you guys is like, this community is going to mean something different to everyone in a different way. And I really encourage you guys to be able to have the idea of the community in the back of your mind, to give you that momentum and that inspiration where it's like, I'm not alone, like there's a team of us. And that's the whole idea. Like, we're not always collaborating, working together, but we're working towards a common vision. We're working towards a common objective to help change the world, to help shift consciousness, to help plant seeds. So, with that in mind, just kind of like feel into the energy that this community gives to you, knowing that we got your back, and we're all going to be out there. We're all going to be going on these adventures, and then using our community as a place to kind of return back to and be like, oh, like this is where we're at and this is where we're going. So yeah, the momentum of the courage of the team is your courage. The momentum of the team is your momentum. And feel free to use the team as it can be like something that you can use to kind of both be a sounding board, but also to be able to help develop accountability within what it is you're creating. Where if you mention into the community, be like, yeah, I'm really interested in hosting an event coming up about XYZ. Type it into the chat. Let us know. and then we'll reach out and we'll like check in and, you know, use me, like direct message me and just be like, use me as an accountability partner where it's like, this is what I'm working on. And again, I'll check in with you. You can check in with me. And yeah, just having that extra person to be able to bounce things off of, like it goes a long way. So thank you again, everyone, for being here. Neil, if you're still here, we can pass over. Yeah, Neil's still here. Neil, go ahead. Any closing gratitude and thoughts?
Can I just do a poem instead?
Of course you can do a poem, Neil.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna do a poem. Live life to the fullest. Each day, seconds turn into minutes. Time passes by. Animals and leaves die, browning by the seasons. Growing and planting seeds again is what all men and women are destined to do in order to continue to live the life that we choose. The sun shines light as we move through heaven's tunnels and tubes, wormholes, niches, and grooves, navigating existence so we can enter the womb. In gestation, I am elation. Exhilaration and patience creates balance in this wasteland of nuclear pollution. My observation of creation is that we're all heading for the same destination. Millennia of intergalactic wars can't stop the frequency that we're all in store for. So I spit from my core of my lost, fragmented soul, reclaiming pieces that are left in this world, the carrot in front of me, the elusive pearl. I remember. I came here before. Just one MC, energetically emanating empathy connected to the fire within me where it became pure energy. An allergy towards this world of anarchy, amnesia in this fallacy, anesthesia to numb out the insanity, overstimulation leading to apathy. Speak out against the status quo, accusations of blasphemy. The gravity of this third-dimensional reality eventually causes atrophy, physical and emotional bankruptcy, so I travel the galaxy to release the agony, rearrange the anatomy and void the catastrophe, achieve cosmic morality, embrace the dualities, the only analogy that we need, so that we can all just let go and breathe. Just let go and breathe.
Awesome. Thank you, Neil.
Love it.
Any other closing words or gratitude, dude? I mean,
That was beautiful.
summed it up pretty well.
Wow.
Nothing really. I'm really happy to be here with y'all in this moment. So thanks for having me.
Cool. Awesome, Neil. Thanks for being here, dude. Beautiful. Yeah. Again, so many amazing people here within the community, and you guys just being able to share the things you're doing and the gifts you have. You know, I know it really inspires people to just be like, whoa, like I'm really inspired by this person and this person for different reasons. It's cool. Like it's just this like crazy fractal of inspiration that happens when we come together. So Kyle, we'll pass over to you and then we'll wrap it up after that. Thank you guys so much. So Kyle, any closing thoughts or gratitude you'd like to share? Go for it, dude.
That was awesome. Thank you for having me, and thank you for sharing, everybody. And I'm happy to be here with everybody and just keep learning.
Perfect.
Peace
out. That's it. That's what we're doing, man. We're still learning each and every single day. And thank you guys again for like having, you know, like feeling whatever's in your heart, whatever has like brought you into this space and allowing me to be able to help assist you guys. Like that's the thing, like we're all learning and growing. Like it's interesting as a creator, what you'll find is that your journey as a creator will allow you to meet more parts of yourself. So it'll allow you to meet that part of yourself that's like, you know, the storyteller, the content, like alchemist, you know, like the event facilitator, the leader, whatever the case may be. So again, even just by you guys being here, like this is something where I'm learning alongside with you. I'm still growing alongside with you. I get to be able to see more of myself kind of like evolve into the leader, and I get to be able to learn, and that allows me to continue to show up for other people as well in the future. So shout out to those of you who are here in the community now, and shout out to those of you who have yet to join the community. And I'm sure there are going to be people who are going to tune into this broadcast who are going to be like, whoa, like this community is pretty cool. Like there's something special here, and you know, maybe I want to be a part of it. And again, you know, as we conclude this circle, for those of you who are here tuned in on YouTube, if you guys are interested in joining this community, I would encourage you to join two things: the Discord, and I'll post a link for that in the chat, and also to check out the Patreon. And so the Discord is our chat channel, and you'll be able to get the overview and use that as a media feed for the community. And from there, you can also get more information about our membership option, and that will link you to the Patreon. And the Patreon is where you can join as a member. And again, that's an $11 monthly contribution. Think of it as an investment in yourself. So if you're just like, damn, man, I want to be a part of the awesome community and to experience what that's like, then consider joining on the Patreon. And you can also go to paradigmshiftcentral.com, which will link you to both of those things. Plus, I would encourage everybody here to make a habit of just checking out paradigmshiftcentral.com as kind of like a go-to spot to be able to see what the daily events are, as well as new TikTok content, new YouTube feeds, recent team podcasts as well. So the Discord and the main website, paradigmshiftcentral.com, and then the Patreon if you're not a member yet as well. And yeah, we'll be doing more private events. Again, stay tuned. I got a lot of awesome stuff still to be able to come, and I'm excited to be able to continue to work alongside such amazing creators as we do so. I'll keep you guys updated in the Discord, encouraging the members to use the Discord, post about your upcoming events. Let me know, DM me if you got any questions, and even just use me as accountability partner, as I said. For those of you who are not members, feel free to direct message me on Instagram if you have any questions. For those of you who are on YouTube right now, if you're like feeling like you're even just interested in connecting with our community as a member, do me a favor and drop a 777 in the chat, just out of curiosity to be able to see who's in the chat there, and I'll remember your name. So with that said, we'll wrap things up here. Thank you again so much for everyone who has been a part of this circle, and for everyone who has been tuned in on all platforms. And yeah, on behalf of myself and all the amazing members of the community, we thank you guys so much. And yeah, feel free to join the Discord, connect, and follow the links for all the creators that you've seen here on tonight's Paradigm Shift Conscious Creator Meet and Greet. So stay tuned. We got more stuff coming your way. So everybody here, feel free to unmute your mic, and you guys can like join me and wave in farewell. And until next time, to everybody who's tuned in right now. So we love you guys.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
See you all later.
Love you
See
guys.
ya. Love you guys. Bye.
All right. And
Brandon.